folks. Before we go on, I just want to check on some sports stats, keep myself sharp here on the sports, and I'll use my computer and just go in here, and I'm going to check, okay.
What's up, folks? It's Too Much Dip, a very special Thanksgiving week edition. My name is Dave. I'll be steering the ship. Joining me today in studio, it's Dylan.
What's up, Dave?
Hi.
Man, just really happy to be here. Good to see Micah's very handsome face on the monitor behind your head.
That was a surprise.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now, they can, if you're watching this on the YouTube,
Yeah.
Can they see him? I think they can.
Yeah. Good stuff. Micah joining us from New York.
Micah from New York, filling in for him in studio. It's Will deFries.
It me. What up? How's it going? Thought I might have gotten relegated after last EPL segment, but it's good to be back.
He's doing soccer terminology already.
I feel like people liked it.
Off the top.
Dude,
People
yeah,
were
that was
asking
a
for it.
Heat segment.
Yeah, I brought the heat.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to bring a little bit more today, but we'll get there.
Wow. I don't know if you can top
Are you
last,
teasing a steam?
last
Maybe.
performance, but oh, I see.
Oh, just throws it on. He's searing it. KJ's in the building.
In the building, in the flesh, you're present. Happy to be here, folks.
I like
And
that shirt, KJ. That's
Thank
kinda
you.
tight.
Appreciate it. It's from KJ Crew.
Oh, cool.
What is KJ? Oh, okay.
Micah liked that one too.
That's pretty good. The
did.
reason we're all so distracted is because joining us, as we mentioned earlier, via the miracle of Zoom, Micah.
Hey, butt cheek clappuccino delivery, baby. If you hear clapping in the king's chamber, don't come knocking, especially on her Snapchat. Nobody hit it like Daddy Cole. What's good, fam?
Oh, there he is.
Nobody hit it like Daddy Cole.
Are you? What are you doing up there?
Well, I am at my future in-laws' home. They have sold their home, and they are in the moving out process, and I am here to assist.
Okay.
And that's why one of my bullet points that I want to talk about is Beanie Babies. But that's a tease. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, we've been needing to talk about Beanie Babies for a minute.
Yeah, can't wait to talk Beanie
It
Babies
is.
with you.
There is a sports tie, so we'll get to that.
Okay.
Before we get into Beanie Babies, please follow Too Much Dip on Twitter. That's Dip with 2 P's. And Too Much Dip Podcast on Instagram. Again, Too Much Dip with 2 P's on Twitter. Too Much Dip Podcast on IG. Starting to get a little activity on there. Whoever's running that social media, man, they're just really doing some things that I like. I'll just say that. It's pretty much my little fantasy book in there.
The Saturday post about sweating your buddy Dan's UCF pick, I was laughing.
'Cause
I was
you're in
laughing
the
for
group
miles
text.
and miles away. It was tremendous.
Dan lost me a relatively significant amount of money. That's okay, though. I believed.
You can't put it on Dan.
No, I can't. It's my look. Dan, we're talking about our friend. You guys probably know him as Jack Hammer. He went to UCF, and he is an objective UCF fan. Now, he will tell you what their weak points are, and he's very pragmatic when it comes to them. And he was like, no, they are going to win this game. So I took UCF money line.
Offering up gambling advice to somebody or being asked for gambling advice from somebody, it's always pretty uncomfortable. You're talking money here.
Yeah.
You can win your friends some money. You can lose them some money if they take your advice. Not a good spot to be in.
A listener asked me if he should put money on ZJ, who was in the final group yesterday. And I was just like, yeah, man. And I kind of jokingly responded like, yeah, these conditions set up really well for him. He's been piping it. Joke being that ZJ is notoriously not a long hitter. Doesn't really pipe it.
Right.
ZJ, I think ZJ went out and shot 75 yesterday or something.
Not a great round.
Not great. And then the guy came back at me later on.
Yeah, that's not on you. You're the one willingly putting your money down on the outcome of something that's been undetermined. It's on you.
You've seen our picks. You've seen my picks.
We
They're not
just started.
Yeah.
We just started.
51%.
Mike just straight up having a conversation.
It's okay. I caught the mute button for him.
That's good.
He's killing it.
I think the standard rule should be if I don't have to dial a 1-800 number, then I'm not accepting the gambling advice. I need to be punching some digits, and you need to be selling me these picks on a weekly basis, and or be like, I don't know, Johnny Money in Las Vegas or something and have a whole brand built around it in order for me to trust you.
Johnny Money just got arrested in that Fed sweep of the Philly mobsters. And then Tony Meatballs.
Years ago, my friends and I wasn't part of it, but a bunch of my friends pulled a bunch of money together and subscribed to one of these guys who knows,
Yeah.
He went like 500 on the year. Like it was terrible.
I mean, we're going 500 on the year as of now.
Exactly. And we're not, we're not charging anybody for our advice.
Patreon idea.
No one's gonna
Dip
pay
picks
for
on
no one's paying
Patreon,
for our
week
picks.
14.
Maybe Micah's.
By the way,
Micah's.
It was really expensive too.
Yeah.
I think it was like $10,000 for the season or something like that.
That's a hilarious amount of money.
Yeah.
And you didn't even get to lose your ass, so there's not like a funny story. It's just
just like, oh, cool, we broke even.
Broke even.
Except for the $10,000 we paid you.
minus that.
Thank you, sir.
Some housekeeping before we let Micah go and just rant on whatever he wants to rant about, Beanie Babies, whatever. No Thursday show. It's Thanksgiving. You guys might be familiar with that. We'll be watching Andy Dalton and them boys.
Let's go.
In a first-place battle with the football team from Washington.
That is factual.
So no Thursday show.
Okay.
Okay?
Fair enough.
Micah, I yield my time to you.
Well, thank you, David. The Cowboys are trash.
Okay.
Should we start there? I know that they did manage to win this week, which means that they will ruin your Thanksgiving, David. You thought for a while that they just weren't going to be – like there was no reason to have that game on television. But now they are a half game out of first place, and you have no choice but to get excited about Andy Dalton, who, despite the win yesterday, is 3-16 in his last 19 starts. Okay. Andy Dalton is trash.
3-16 in his last 19 starts. However, 1-2 in his last Dallas Cowboys start.
He's 1-0 in his last start. So
that's a great point, Dylan. I think that checks out.
On a heater.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
Thanksgiving.
There's not a whole lot.
I don't know if you saw my tweet.
Dave, do you know who is playing halftime at the Cowboys Thanksgiving game?
Oh, what is it?
I don't. I'm asking.
Smashing Pumpkins? I don't know.
You know, the video of Creed from 2001 keeps popping up all over the place.
Yesterday was like the 1-year anniversary.
No, y'all got Kane Brown this year.
Oh,
let's
go.
Yeah. Man,
Jesus. How many cuts in his eyebrows does he have now?
I wish they just had Kane.
Foreshadowing.
He killed his brother in a fit of rage.
Kane Brown kind of looks like if Dale went on a bender post-divorce of Claire and then got into country music to put his life back together.
This is good.
That's Kane Brown.
Okay. I can see that.
Maybe next week we'll do real or fake Kane Brown songs after I explore his catalog. Because to be honest, I don't have a knowledge of his as much as I do like Chase Rice.
He looks like he sells overpriced weed to like affluent white kids. You know?
Well, now I got to look him up.
Oh, you never seen Kane Brown?
Oh, come on, Dave.
I didn't know who he was until I looked up who was performing. And
I hate to
know.
say this, I sneaky don't hate a couple of his songs, and it's bad because it's like objectively terrible music, but I don't hate it.
This is gonna suck.
Yeah,
they always suck, but this one will suck.
No, y'all had a performance a few years ago that was just actually like very, very good, whereas the Lions just trot out absolutely nobody every year. They did.
Didn't Pitbull do it a couple years ago?
Who?
Pitbull.
Yeah. Then they had Meghan Trainor, inexplicably.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Meghan Trainor.
No, she's all about the bass.
Yeah, we know.
She had some song that was co-opted by Target. You know, Target's doing that, like put out a music video every holiday season. She was last year.
She's a one-hit wonder, and her popular song was like 7 years ago.
She's not a one-hit wonder.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
She's
Look
one.
at Will riding for Meghan Trainor.
I need to check out her catalog.
Micah, what else do you think about those Cowboys?
Yeah, I was going to say, can we get to the thing that's most important here before I get dragged out of here? Is let's talk Beanie Babies. There is, I guess I could get them. They're behind me. There are several plastic bins full of Beanie Babies here at this home, to which a few Google searches have shown that they're mostly worth nothing. But there is one that is interesting to me, and there's got to be at least one Beanie Baby expert out there listening to this.
Princess Diana one?
You got me right here.
Well, she's got the Princess Diana one, but apparently it's only worth $7 to $10 because it's not a.
You need the Dodi Al Fayed one.
The Beanie Baby in question
Wow.
is called a Valentino, and it was a giveaway at a Yankees game. That Yankees game was the David Wells hungover perfect game.
Okay.
This is the dark red one?
Let's see it.
Caitlin has the Beanie Baby. Hang on.
Yeah, Micah, we need to see this Beanie Baby because from a quick Google search, these things are going for a lot of money. Lot of money.
Define a lot.
$13,000 to $30,000, up to $45,000.
I was going to say, my general search, I'm seeing 40 to 50,000.
Steal that, Micah.
Okay, but here's what I found. And she also has the ticket stub from the game, which I feel like is pretty valuable. If you go to eBay and type this one in, the ones that are available are, 5 figures. But if you type in the name of that Beanie Baby and then sold, the numbers are significantly smaller.
This makes sense.
So people are asking for a lot, but not necessarily paying a lot. All Beanie Baby Nation, if you want to get at me, I will be happy to learn. At Micah Weiner, MICAHWIENER. And while you're there, you might want to hit the link in bio and subscribe to Micah's Read of the Week, including the Holiday Recipe Extravaganza live now.
Micah, are you aware that Beanie Baby and our old employer actually have something in common?
I don't.
Both had a legal battle with Tabasco.
Wow.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So let me know. The
If you still have the Tabasco the Bull Beanie Baby, which was discontinued in 1997, then you're sitting on some coin.
I'll start looking.
They were a pleasure to work with, actually. Not to work with, but to litigate. Well, we didn't really litigate it, but they were very nice at Tabasco.
They were nice after they threatened you.
Right.
Yeah. Bad cop.
This has been fun.
Are you bearish on Beanie Babies?
I'm quite bearish at this point, unless that David Wells Beanie Baby is actually worth something. So get at me. Until next time, I think I'm going to get out of here. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks, gentlemen.
All right,
and
Micah.
Micah, we miss you.
Thanks to the listener. I miss you guys too. I'm excited to be back in Austin tomorrow. Two negative COVID tests, a third scheduled for Friday, by the way. We're being very safe. Just want to let the people know that.
Good.
And until next time, bye-bye.
There goes that man.
Wow.
Just like that.
We got Will here. You want to talk some footy?
Kind of just want to spend the rest of this podcast looking into these Beanie Babies. Now I'm very curious.
I would like to profit. I have several sitting at my house in Michigan.
Were they yours or?
I had several Beanie Babies. My dad owned a store that got Beanie Babies at cost, and so I pretty much had every Beanie Baby that you can imagine. It was kind of a flex on all my classmates
Unreal.
in 3rd and 4th grade.
Lifestyles of the Michigan rich and famous.
Yeah, it was tight. It was very tight.
We of course like to have Will on because of his soccer knowledge, his football knowledge. Will and I often text about La Liga, Serie A, just all the leagues.
Yeah.
But today, what are we talking about? Are we talking about MLS? You saw what happened yesterday. FC Dallas defeated the Portland Timbers in PKs.
I did not see that, but that's
did.
huge. Yeah, I don't watch MLS, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah, I did have the Minnesota game on for a few minutes the other night, but outside of that, yeah, I'm not effing with it.
Well, I F with FC Dallas, DTID. Yeah, Dallas till I die, I think, is their whole bit.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Tune in about 30 seconds when I find out if they won their playoff game versus the Portland Timbers.
They did.
They did, as
PKs.
David said.
Okay.
PKs.
Huge.
I was paying attention.
Portland Timbers, objectively good team name.
Yes. Good jerseys, good team name. They did green jerseys.
And they've got Kesha for their halftime show.
Kind of like the Verde.
Micah's gone, right? We can.
Yeah, we're allowed to talk about the Austin FC kits without worrying about Micah just going too scorched earth. You guys saw these things. How do you feel about them?
I think after talking to you about soccer jerseys, I can't call them kits, soccer jerseys. I think my issue is more with just the general soccer design, like the popular thick vertical stripe look. Not a fan. Having said that, these aren't bad considering they went along with the vertical stripe theme.
Yeah.
And Yeti's a cool sponsor too.
Can we at least admit that Yeti is an objectively cool sponsor instead of having an insurance company or something like that? Like Yeti is an actual company with an identity that is cool. I think we can get on board with that.
I'm surprised it's not Dell.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
And I wouldn't be upset if it was Dell, but Yeti is just, they sell very, very large coolers. just a cool company.
Dylan sleeps in one every night.
So very expensive coolers, yeah. And one big enough to lay down in.
Yeah.
They're very good.
They
They cost $1,200.
well.
I understand why people might not like these jerseys. This color scheme is not for everybody. The verde y negro is not necessarily something that people gravitate to all the time. I don't love it, but I don't hate them. I don't think that they deserve the hate that they're getting. In terms of jerseys, these could be much worse, and we're going to go with it.
Yeah, like I said, I just don't like the general look of soccer jerseys, but these are not bad. I'll give them credit.
Dumb soccer question here. So for their home and away kits, would it be then green and white, you think?
I don't know what their away kit looks like this year.
Yeah, because I feel like green and white vertical stripes would look bad. I assume they'll just go straight white with maybe green letters is probably
That would be my hope.
What's the sleeve sponsor on the sleeve there?
Apex, I believe.
What is Apex?
I'm not sure. I'm sure
Big
it's
Predator guys.
Top of the food chain.
software probably. But I do like their crest. Their crest is undeniably good looking.
So this is the fastest selling jersey in league history, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'll tell you why that excites me. Kind of like a little, market test here, a little tester.
Okay.
The Austin wants to support a. You don't know, Dave. No, I'm not saying we're gonna get like another team in the next couple of years, but it's good to see that Austin will support a sports team that's not the Texas Longhorns.
Austin has a very good positioning with soccer. There's a big Latin community here, so they're going to embrace the team. There's a big hipster community here. And hipsters love piling onto an MLS team when they don't watch like football or hockey or baseball and stuff like that.
Big dork community here. Love.
Yeah. And so it's just perfect. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
Like it's the perfect storm to have a bunch of people buy these jerseys. That being said, I also think that Austin is one of the best cities to launch an MLS team in, whereas like these other cities might not be as large as Austin. Austin's a big city.
Up until getting an MLS team, the biggest city without a professional sports team.
Yeah, it makes sense that they should break the record. Had they not broken the record, it would have been a little concerning.
I think like a top 15 population-wise in the United States.
Yeah.
I think.
Probably. Like 4 of those cities are in Texas.
No, I mean like Austin as among cities in the U.S.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying 4 of them are in Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ask this every time. Where's the stadium?
North of where we hang.
Domain.
Yeah, kind of domain area.
Okay.
Randy rode his bike by it one day.
Yeah. Every time I drive by the domain, I keep looking for the site and I cannot spot it. So I
But
don't-
not Cedar Park. So that's a plus.
No clue.
It's close to Cedar Park, but it's not Cedar Park.
Okay.
I'm about as good at geography as Brett.
Yeah, that's fair. None of us really know for sure. It helps that we got McConaughey holding the jersey.
It adds cool points to it immediately, of course.
Yeah, like if this was, I don't know, Michael Dell holding the jersey, like would we be like completely trashing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
sure.
The colors are
For
cool.
sure.
They got a cool sponsor.
Yeah.
They're off to a fine start.
There's a lot of people that don't like it. I think it could be a lot worse.
Gary Clark Jr. could pull off sitting there holding that up and get away with making it look good.
Ooh, I would look at that.
Austin
High.
High.
Maybe Nicole
Exploit him more.
Trunfio as well.
Objectively a cool dude.
Maybe
He
Amber
can, He
Heard.
can shred on that guitar, Dave.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You ever seen him? He's loud.
Oh, yeah.
He's a loud boy.
Oh yeah.
Can we talk about something else?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You guys familiar with this Peacock shit?
No.
Not actual Peacock shit. I'm just talking about the app.
No.
Yes.
So it's great. Like NBC did what everyone's doing, what they should be doing if you're a giant media company like that, and they created an app where you can watch things. Maybe you want some friends in your life. You're a big Friends guy. You think Ross Geller's hilarious.
Stop.
You do like Friends.
I do not like
And
Friends.
so they did what I feared they would do. I've written about it. I've talked about it on podcasts. NBC has always been very, very good about making the EPL as accessible to American fans as they possibly can. Never have you had to worry about watching a game on an app. Like they have NBC Gold, which is now probably defunct now with Peacock, but they've never really put big name games on their paid services. And that's great. They shouldn't. You need to grow the game more than anything here, and they have a giant stake in the EPL in America.
Yeah.
And now they've just started putting all these games on Peacock. A lot of them. Probably a third of the games are on Peacock now.
it's a lot.
And these aren't just games. We're not talking Burnley versus West Brom. You know?
Right.
We're talking Tottenham.
Yeah. We're talking, well, Tottenham was luckily on free.
Okay.
But we're talking these big names. Manchester United this week, Peacock.
What?
Ew.
Everton, Peacock.
Wait, let me make sure I understand, because I know there's a free version of Peacock that's like ad-supported.
You
it's
have to
behind
pay.
the premium side.
You have to pay.
Okay.
And I wouldn't have an issue with this especially during football season. College football. NBC's got a stake in college football. They'll shove Notre Dame straight up your ass.
Yeah, seriously. It's
And
there
so
now.
I wouldn't have an issue with it, except for the fact that instead of playing these games that a lot of people would watch, they're playing, I don't know, Mecum auto auctions. Me what? They're doing monster truck rallies from October.
Let's go.
That's kind of sick.
Monster
It's just
Jam
like,
is
what,
tight,
but why
though.
are we doing this?
Was Bigfoot in it?
Like, if
Gravedigger.
Gravedigger was definitely there. The frustrating thing is the EPL fans are some of the most dedicated fans you'll find. They have to wake up at 6 a.m. to watch these games. And you know that they're dedicated enough to pay that extra money to watch these games. And that's the sad truth of it. The second I couldn't watch a game, I shelled out for it. But to replace their free network stuff with these reruns of sports that no one watches. The other day, another game was on, and they were playing figure skating. I got love for all the figure skaters out there. There's some mommies and poppies and absolute daddies out there just doing twists. Come on.
They need to up their original content game.
NBC?
Yeah.
What, you're not happy with AP Bio?
No.
Well, how many people are watching AP Bio? Like 1,000?
Well done.
I
Is that Patton Oswalt?
Yeah.
That's his bit, yeah.
And the dude from Always Sunny.
We cut the cord like many, and save a little money, and just you don't want to be tied down with the contracts and dealing with like the DirecTVs of the world. And now I'm just paying for every app,
Yeah.
all of the apps. Don't even know which ones I have. I don't use them all.
But I'm happy doing that if I never have to call and wait on hold or have
You're
somebody
right.
install something.
Fair.
But I do agree this is a very justifiable.
I reserve the right to complain about every time like something that I was enjoying for free goes behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Podcasts included.
Dip picks, I'm telling you.
Dick picks. No one's paying for our picks. I'm telling you.
They're paying to fade our picks.
Oh, okay.
They want to see who we pick. Oh man. So who was the big game this weekend?
All right, we had a couple big games this weekend. Tottenham, Man City. Biggest game of the weekend. We had Jose Mourinho, former Manchester United manager.
course.
You're a big
Oh,
man.
yeah.
You got with me.
I'm a Tottenham guy.
Is he the hot?
So you've been watching the Amazon series
Yeah,
finally.
I'm
Is he
Tottenham.
the hot coach?
He's hot. He's
They're all kind of hot.
if he can win the league with Tottenham, he should go down as the greatest coach in EPL history, besides Sir Alex Ferguson, who will forever be the greatest
Yeah,
coach.
Dave's not hot.
He's a sir.
Mourinho?
He's a good-looking older dude. He's got that Portuguese swag.
What do you have against the Portuguese?
Great scarf
I
game.
love the Portuguese.
His
kidding
style
me?
is unmatched. His Instagram game is ridiculous. The other day, he told his players practice in the morning on Instagram.
Yeah,
He's just swagging.
that is swagged out.
Respect his swag one time.
All right.
Tottenham did something I didn't think they'd do. They won that game 2-0. They showed
Wow.
themselves as contenders, and now they're top of the table.
Let's fucking go.
It's on goal differential. They're tied with Liverpool with 20 points.
Liverpool won last year, right?
Liverpool won last year for the first time in the history of their club. They had won
Their
the league
fans let you know.
championship, but they had never they had never won the Premier League championship.
Okay.
So this was big for them.
Nice.
Yeah. And they got to do it in front of no fans. Losers.
Nah.
Sorry, they're Man U's biggest
Asterisk.
rival, so I get to shit on them a little bit. That being said, I do respect everything they're doing. I wish Man U was a little more like them these days. Other big games. Let's see. Arsenal Leeds could have been entertaining, but halfway through the game, we had a headbutt, so someone got sent off.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Dude,
The guy just
Zidane?
he's straight up Zidane, the guy.
Yeah, I love that.
And it just seemed really unnecessary, and he immediately got a red card and left the game. And the game from that point on,
Dude, that Zidane headbutt was so gangster.
yeah, it did lose them the World Cup. So French
Yeah,
people
who
might
cares,
not have the
though?
same view of that, but it was entertaining. And then we also had Leicester City versus Liverpool yesterday. Leicester City was at the top of the table going into the week, I believe, and it ended up being, I don't want to say a dud, but anytime Liverpool wins 3-0, it's kind of a bummer. Firmino, you're a big Bobby Firmino guy. Bobby Chompers.
Oh, yeah. Big
He's
time.
got some white. He's got some new white teeth in. He got some veneers. He scored a goal at home, which he just straight up doesn't do. Sadio Mane, one of their forwards, he's played now I think 70 games at Anfield, and he has never lost one.
70?
Imagine playing 70 home games
owns
for
that.
your team, and you've just never lost one. So
Who's
right,
the comp there? I'm trying to think.
Forget about it, David.
He protects that house.
he does protect the house. He's a tiny man, but he does protect the house. Oh, sorry, do you guys body shame on this episode?
Yes.
No, we will.
geez.
We
encourage
haven't
it.
yet, but
We
we will.
encourage it.
Okay, cool. Because we do that on the other one, just in terms
Yeah.
of height.
Major 5'9" vibes.
So right now we find ourselves with a lot of teams only played 8 games. A lot of teams played 9 games. Tottenham, like we said, your Spurs.
Tottenham.
Not the Spurs, Dylan. Spurs.
Tottenham Spurs.
Oh
yes.
my God. Industry, this HBO show. they're doing their best. Halfway through the first episode, a guy says the Spurs game. Come on, dude.
Oh, you can't do that.
You can't
man.
say
Terrible.
the Spurs. Are you talking about San Antonio, bro?
Dude, get out of town.
Question: is a spur over there the same as a spur here? Didn't think so.
I don't really know what a spur is. Their logo is just a what looks like a peacock.
Yeah.
Or some type of bird perched on top of a old school ball.
A splatch-cocked bird.
Maybe it was.
Okay.
So Tottenham's top of the table. They're tied with Liverpool. Then we have the top 4 rounded out with Chelsea and Leicester City. As you guys all know, top 4 goes to Champions League next year.
Yep.
Dave, you're West Ham Hammers because you're the Hammer guy.
Yeah.
They're currently 8th, which honestly they're doing better.
We're in the conversation.
They're
We're
doing
on the
better
cusp
than
of
everyone
competing.
thought.
Yeah.
I got bad news for you.
I know.
You're Fulham boys.
Not great,
They still have the hottest coach. Actually, he's the hottest coach in the league.
without question.
Manager.
And shoot me straight. What are the odds against Leicester City?
Not good. Not good. Leicester looked a little lackluster compared to their previous performances this season against Liverpool, but I have to say, even their lackluster performances should beat Fulham. Fulham had a terrible first half against Everton this weekend. Absolutely terrible. They looked like the worst team in the league. Luckily, they kind of rebounded in the second half and gave a little hope to the followers and fans out there. It's also very difficult to watch their games because their stadium is under construction, kind of like Texas's stadium. Not very fun to watch the under construction
Sits
stuff.
right on the water, though. It's nice.
Yep. And as for Man U, your boy, you know I'm a big Man U fan. If you're reading the Twitter timeline and you think that they're just burning everything down, that they're just terrible, I got to say, they're currently in 9th place with a game in hand, and if they win that game handily, they're in the conversation in the top 6. Nothing to be worried about here. I'm trying to think of any news that's come out lately. During an international break a couple weeks ago, they had some young guns for England. They were in Iceland, and they snuck some mummies into the hotel.
Let's go.
Yeah, and luckily the British media really showed their racism, and they've only been criticizing the black player, and the white player is still playing for England and has not gotten criticized. And Mason Greenwood, the young gun for Manchester United, he's just been pretty much written off by everybody. It's unfortunate, but that's the British
bullshit.
media for you. He also did that's the Whippet kid.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude is wild.
I'm following the wrong team.
Get away with anything.
Yeah,
at
bad
this
boy
point.
shit.
Hey,
bad boy shit.
who do you think like the definitive leader of West Ham is? Is it more Jared Bowen, or do you think it's Declan Rice?
Declan Rice?
Right. I call
Declan Rice?
him Declan.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, yeah, Declan is doing it big. You got Yarmolenko in there, Fabianski. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of West Ham, unfortunately. Their manager David Moyes is a former Manchester United manager, and I have to say one of the worst ones. Things really came to a head when one of the players banged his daughter and he cut him.
So to speak.
Of age?
Yeah, of age.
Okay, good.
All good. But yeah, that player kind of didn't really play much after that.
I mean,
My date with the manager's daughter.
I don't like what you're doing.
You don't like it?
So how close are we for things to be decided? Because Fulham is basically looking to be relegated again.
No, there's still a lot of time.
We got, 5 more matches? 4 more matches?
Oh, no. We have a ton more matches.
Oh, okay.
They've only
I thought you
played
said
8 or 9.
Oh, only played. I thought you said they only play. I misunderstood.
No. They play 38 matches.
Okay. We've got through the
You
spring.
play everyone home and away, and we will not have unless there's a stoppage in the season like last season. They'll be playing until May.
Yep.
So we're good. Stuff in the future, I'm not really sure. I'm going to come back at some point during the January transfer window. I'm going to force myself to come in here, just because that is the time when Twitter is most exciting. When there's just theories being thrown out, Man U will definitely let everybody down, but it should be good.
Do you think the diminished revenues due to said demi that we're in the middle of will affect the transfer window?
Already has.
Already has?
You could make a case that Dortmund, which is Dave's rival, German rival.
ooh, I freaking hate them.
So mad.
All my homies hate Dortmund.
They got a bunch of young, hot dudes that are just killing it. Erling Haaland, or Haaland, however you want to say
He's
it.
so good, I have to respect it, even though I hate him.
He's a beast, absolute beast. Manchester United missed out on him previous transfer window, and this past one, they missed out on Jadon Sancho. They wanted 120 million pounds. Unfortunately, they missed out on him, and I have to say, I think they would have paid it had it not been for the pandemic.
Okay.
But they were trying to make ends meet, and they were structuring the deal in a very weird way for Dortmund, and Dortmund finally just flexed on him and was like, no, you can't have him.
So task for before your return in January. At that point, we'll be roughly 6-7 months out, but we'll still have 4 months, 6-7 months out from the Olympics, I'm saying. Still have quite a bit of the season left to play.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every time the Olympics roll around, I'm like at a loss for, okay, who should I like? Okay, Mbappe, here we go. And it's usually just who's best, who's getting the most screen time. No, we have the Olympics this summer because it's off a year. World Cup would be 22.
In Qatar or Qatar.
Yeah.
How do you
We'll have
say it?
Japan
No.
Summer Olympics. So
what
what
Summer
what I'm asking here is just a little cheat sheet of what teams I should be watching in anticipation of, the top FIFA teams.
If you're trying to get into this, and if you're somebody who wants to start watching regular games, matches, Chelsea, they've got the American Christian Pulisic. Manchester United, biggest team in the world. No one here to dispute that. It's great.
Yeah, I know, but I watch Euro Trip, so I can only think of them in that.
Tottenham, very entertaining team, most entertaining coach in the league. You should watch them. Man City games, they've got a bunch of internationals. Pep Guardiola's the manager. They've got it all. Everton has been very fun. They have a new coach who came from Napoli. He's won a Champions League before, Carlo Ancelotti. They are kind of bucking their heads. I would say Arsenal, but Arsenal currently can't score a goal. And when you have some of your biggest transfers just headbutting people, things are kind of hitting the fan there. So, Mikel Arteta, you're a big fan of Mikel Arteta.
Oh, dude, I love that dude.
Yeah, he's an apprentice of Pep Guardiola. Unfortunately for Arsenal fans, Arsenal's kind of stagnant right now, but they will be good in the future. And then obviously Liverpool and Leicester City will round that list out. But those are the teams that if you want to start getting familiar with players and getting familiar with the people that are actually, or the teams that are actually going to try to win, those are the teams that you need to be following.
And Fulham, hottest coach, best owner who has great mustache. There you go.
It's true. And he's the only owner that will publicly go on Twitter and just absolutely flame people. So you have to love it. Sure.
God, I love watching West Ham teams do basic things well, work hard, and have an actual game plan. Moyes is demolishing the monolith of the West Ham way and replacing it with actual professionalism week by week, and it's so enjoyable to watch.
Really?
For me.
Yeah.
Dude, soccer guy.
For me, I mean, as a West Ham guy.
I'm hearing that all in Cole Campbell voice, so like that's whose tweet you're reading. You're reading Cole Campbell on FIFA.
No, that was Headhammer Shark on Twitter.
Oh, I mean, you're not wrong, Dave.
Yeah, I know.
I've got love for David Moyes, even though he absolutely tanked Manchester United, but they also didn't fund him, so what are you going to do?
Great work.
All right, guys, that's it for the EPL
Will,
minute.
Unbelievable.
I think it was about a minute.
That was exactly 1 minute. I don't know how you wrapped it all up in under a minute, but wow.
Yep.
You've been here a minute. I agree.
And because I did not watch one snap of football outside of the Michigan game in overtime, I'm going to remove myself from the conversation regarding football this week, guys.
Just as the Lions did. As
Do you
well.
want to see about what KJ did this week?
I do. I was going to request that I can stick
Okay,
around
yeah.
to see that.
Let's do it now.
Let's do that. We got a
Smoke
button?
something.
I don't, but
Damn.
I'll tell you this. Smoke something, bitch.
And then the little noise.
Doon, doon, doon. Yeah. Oh, look at that. KJ, what did you do?
All
I
right.
still don't know what I'm looking at.
He snapped is what he did.
So I realized going into this week that for a lot of people, Thanksgiving will look a lot different for my family as many others. So I was just going around trying to figure out, okay, what recipes can I knock out, pack up, and maybe drop off at my parents' house since we won't be gathering in the traditional sense. And when it came down to it, I was like, all right, I can knock out the turkey, all that stuff, and pack that stuff up. But what about that day after? So I started looking around for some recipe inspo, if you will, and that's where I stumbled upon the breakfast fatty. I do have to give proper credit to the boys at Meat Church out of Waxahachie, Texas. That's where this recipe came from. But you basically lay down a slick little 6x6 bacon weave, which is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
Dude, shouts to bacon lattices.
Oh, yeah, that's the way to go. And then you layer that with some breakfast sausage. It's a little hard to tell what's what because there's a badass smoke ring on that breakfast sausage. And then inside of the sausage, you pre-cook some eggs, mix a little pepper and onion in there.
Oh, my goodness.
Lay that in there, roll that sumbitch up, and leave it on the smoker for about an hour at like 275.
Wait, so what's in the middle?
So eggs, pepper and onion.
You say you pre-cooked the eggs, right?
Pre-cook the eggs, yes. And then you basically roll it up. It's just breakfast sausage and bacon wrapped around it.
So have you tried this?
I did try just that one slice, the end slice and that slice.
Do you have a
And
name
it was
for this?
incredible. It's called the breakfast fatty. I wish it was an original recipe. I am considering trying like a variation of it, maybe doing bacon around some stuffing and some turkey or something. fucking around with like cranberry in the middle, but I've got to think of how
was it?
the stuff. It was amazing,
Uh,
and it
thought
wasn't
of
like
this?
fucking heart stopping either. So far,
You're alive and well.
Yeah,
exactly.
Please don't die mid-episode.
Yeah, I didn't eat the whole thing.
the only thing that would be concerning to me is the sausage to egg ratio. A lot of
Yeah.
meat per bite, but it looks fantastic.
Yeah. So you can basically, I mean, I would recommend typically cutting it about a half of the slice that I did. I was just kind of cutting reckless to make sure the middle was done. But you can throw this on top of a biscuit or in the middle of a tortilla, and you are GTG. And definitely something you can do in advance. So say you've got a tailgate coming up where it's an 11 o'clock kick. You could probably do this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday sometime, throw it in the fridge, cut it up, and you're good to go for that weekend. And people aren't fucking wrapping sausages and tortillas and calling it a meal.
So you wake up and you haven't had breakfast. You go downstairs in your robe, have a little water, maybe take some pills, have some coffee.
Yeah.
You got this thing in your fridge. You heat it back up in the oven. Then what? One slice and you're good?
I would slice a piece off and then heat that piece individually on a biscuit maybe, and you're solid. Throw it in tortilla as
A
well.
little biscuit.
Man, look at that.
Well, this looks great.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
like,
man.
what psycho thought of this? I
Yeah.
fucking love it.
Could have
I've
brought us
seen different
one.
variations of like bacon wrapped logs of stuff smoked. So there's a little genre out there of meat smokers who are doing this. That looks great, KJ.
Yeah. The bacon part I was the most surprised by because I really thought that I was going to fuck that up and it was going to fall apart, or at some point it was just going to, like just not stick in a log. And the trick to that was that wax paper you see on the left. Basically roll it up, lay out everything flat, roll it up with that, and then I just use that to transfer. It's great.
Did you season the bacon, or is that pre-seasoned?
Yes. Meat Church, I want to say Holy Gospel seasoning on the outside. It's the way to go, man. It was great through and
You
through.
snapped.
You really did it to him.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's the thing.
This is probably my, this is my comeback game after the big fire, the rib fire of September 2020.
That's tough.
So this is me saying, you know what, bitches, I never left.
Oh,
I see your portrait mode is working too.
Yeah. Also,
went
this
off.
is why I wanted to keep Will around.
Because the photograph.
Well, as you can see, I'm trying my best. I'm hamstringing myself with all the best tools.
Oh, you got the iPhone 12.
And I'm not doing it justice.
Yes, you
with
are.
the quality of these photos.
Yes, you are.
I
Don't
think it's
worry
pretty
about
good.
it. I think it's beautiful.
All
these
right.
look good.
I would eat the hell out of this. I'm kind of bummed you didn't bring a slice.
I was hoping you're gonna pull one out of your
I
pocket.
did think about it because Brett said I'm so excited for this. And it's like, you know what? I do live with a woman who does not eat meat. She only eats. She's a pescatarian, so I'm not eating this all week. I might as well make another. Yeah, I know it's unfortunate, but I figured in this economy maybe not. You've blogged about how to use portrait mode for people.
Yeah.
But for food pics, any quick tips for the people going into Thanksgiving
See,
weekend?
on this, and especially you got that new iPhone 12, you have the beauty of being able to edit the depth of field. You can just toss edit
does
up
that
in so like the blur.
Okay.
So like you can just go up to
Band.
the top of the photo and it just has a little dial and you can go back and forth. So
Okay.
like you can just manually adjust it and it just makes everything really easy.
Wait,
you no longer have to tap around.
That's on the new phone?
Yeah.
Oh, dog.
Yeah, your phone doesn't. Your iPhone 10 doesn't have it, dog.
You fucking broke ass.
I mean,
Unbelievable.
The reason I haven't upgraded phones is I'm not good at pictures, and that's just a different camera. That's pretty much the difference in the new phones now.
We saw your Christmas tree. We know.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know what I'm doing.
I didn't think it was a bad photo.
I didn't think it was bad
you had the dog in
either.
it.
You know how you can tap to like brighten everything.
Yeah.
I did that, but then it just drowned out the lights, so it didn't work. And so I was stuck between a dark image that showed the lights or the opposite.
Follow the lights. Got to get them.
You know, you feel me,
I thought
right?
you told me you tapped this.
Okay.
Don't.
No, you tapped a keg.
We're talking Christmas trees,
You
David.
had people over without me.
We're talking
You
Christmas.
tapped that keg, I'm saying.
Not to tap that
floated
ass,
it.
Dave.
Okay.
Will, I'd like to thank you for hanging around with us.
Guys, it's always a pleasure.
Will, what a pleasure. Will, why don't you just one time toss out the handles for the folks at home?
At Will deFries. If you want to find me on Twitter, I'll be complaining every Saturday morning about Peacock's commandeering of some of the biggest games. So also, if you want to watch a Micah auto auction, just let me know.
This will only enhance his
last.
followers.
Sorry to step on that. One last question.
Yes.
If I was in a pinch and I know that shipping is going to be crazy for some places out there now, shopping, any recommendations?
For just general gifts?
People, gifts, anything
Like
of the
candles
sort?
or something?
Dude, like maybe
Ooh.
like a Sunday Scaries candle?
Or the eye blink guy, that GIF.
I think gift is what he said.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah, I think the Sunday Scary Scandal is the way to go.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought you sold out of those a couple months ago.
You know, we did sell out in 24 hours, but luckily we ordered actually 150% of the inventory. that we
KJ
got
is
the first
lobbing
time.
them up, and you're
I
throwing
know.
them down.
There you go.
This is great. Well, Will, hate to see you go, but love to watch you leave. You know what I'm saying?
Ever since that
that-
Peloton, you've been mad horny
Get
for
that
me.
fine ass out of here. Good to see you.
Enjoyed.
See you guys.
Later.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
What
It's been a busy episode.
wild
so far.
episode.
Damn
We
near
done?
full episode.
We done?
I think so. Let's wrap her up. Just kidding, folks.
You guys want to talk National Football League?
Oh, yeah.
I kind of do too.
It's a fun weekend, kind of.
I kind of wish Micah was here. I want to dig in a little bit more into his Cowboys, whatever that was.
He teased like he had a lot to say about the boys and really just wanted to talk
Yeah, it was
Beanie
more of a
Babies the whole
conclusion,
I
not
think
a lot
he
of
just wanted
reasoning.
to get somebody to buy that Beanie Baby.
Yeah.
We were all set
Is
up
that
there.
what that was?
I think
Pretty
Is
so.
that a
much.
promoted
he
post?
Used us to, yeah. Self-promotion is something he's kind of known for. So.
We can start with them boys. Of
Yeah.
course, they 31-28 over the Vikings, a road game. Andy Dalton, I have to give credit where credit's due. He looked good,
He
Yeah.
did.
even though I don't want to see him.
Yeah. Make no mistake, I'm not an Andy Dalton guy. I think he's a pretty average NFL quarterback, but he played well and is certainly better than the alternative.
I wanted Thanksgiving.
I hate what you just did.
I wanted it. I just think I'm right. Even if I think this team as it stands is good enough to win the NFC East, which is not saying anything because it's a historically bad division, maybe the worst of all time. That being said, I don't care if they go into the playoffs, lose in the first round. I would rather have Gil's giving and the good story, because he is a good story. The guy's been all around. He played in the AFL or whatever it was, arena football, for whatever team, and it would be good if he had a nice season. So I want to see him get more shots. Andy Dalton, everybody knows him. He's made his money. A guy like Garrett Gilbert hasn't.
Speaking of quarterbacks in other alternative professional football leagues, PJ Walker, is that
Yes.
his name? He had a game.
He
Man.
made himself some money on Sunday, for sure.
Yeah.
I think the Panthers are, I've said it before, the example of what to look at when you want to start making excuses for the Cowboys. They were without their starting quarterback, without their starting running back, and they were still dominating a pretty competent team.
Yeah.
So,
It's coaching.
yeah,
Matt Rule, who I believe PJ Walker played under Matt Rule at Temple.
I got it wrong. Matt Rule is good.
He
So-
he
He could have
puts
been the
off
Cowboys
football.
coach.
Yeah, dude, no. Can you imagine him though with Jerry? Those two would not have.
He was very, I guess I'm saying he was very gettable if the Cowboys wanted him.
Yeah, I bet so.
But I don't fault them for picking McCarthy over Rule if those are your two options. But in hindsight, maybe.
I bet if he could do it over, they would consider it.
Yeah.
Back to the Cowboys game real quick. CeeDee Lamb had an incredible catch for a touchdown. I posed this question to a different text group. I'm going to ask you now. You get one rookie receiver. Claypool, Lamb, Jefferson. Who do you go with?
And we're saying I get to build my team around him or
Yeah,
keep
I'm
him
saying
on my team.
this is your receiver, your receiver one for the
For
foreseeable
one-
future.
For one game, I would take Claypool. For one season, I would probably take Jefferson. But if I'm going to build for long term, I'll take CD.
Okay. Give a little love to all of them, huh?
I got to admit, I've only seen almost every game CD's played since college, minus a few of the early games for OU.
Have you watched Claypool play this year?
Yes, he's a beast.
Yeah.
They're all. There's not a wrong answer, I don't think. But I'm taking CD because I think he can do more. He's a little bit more dynamic out of the.
Probably the best
Could put him in the
athlete.
backfield, a little bit.
I don't hate it.
Run a little jet sweep. Yesterday, Kellen Moore, dude, opened up the playbook. That was the most fun I've had watching the Cowboys offense in a very long time, since maybe week 1 of last year.
Yeah. When Kellen Moore was getting all the love. Remember that?
Yeah, those first 3 weeks were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, did we get to see it? We got to see a Zeke option
Yeah.
on that 2-point conversion.
And a 100-yard game from Zeke. So, I mean, I shit all over him last week and talked about how much he's being run out of town by Dallas media, but Zeke had himself a game. Maybe
He had
it's
a
the
game.
dreads.
The O-line looked very competent. I don't know how much of this is the Cowboys coming off of a bye and Minnesota coming off of a short week, because they look like they were playing at two different speeds, especially in the second half. Tony Pollard had that big 40-yard run for the touchdown. That was a big play, and I think everybody wants to see more Tony Pollard. But that was crazy, man. I didn't think they had it in them. The defense looked, they got burned a couple times, but Minnesota, they've got a good offense.
Yeah, I would say Kirk Cousins played really well.
He did.
I forgot how underwhelmingly efficient he is. Like, he doesn't screw up a lot of games when they're winnable. He will, he will screw up big moments, and he's not a quarterback that I would want leading my team for whatever he got, like $80 million guaranteed or whatever. But the dude can make plays. He's more than serviceable for sure. Justin Jefferson dropped that ball. Dalvin Cook was great all game. It was a fun game to watch. It was kind of disappointing to not have fans there. One note I wanted to make on Garrett Gilbert: if you're him and you've shown just enough to be admired, aren't you kind of happy? Like, all right,
just cool my heels.
He's done enough.
Yeah, like I'll let him wonder.
He's batting 1,000.
Exactly. Like, hey, I can't screw this up anymore.
I hope you're right about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think this team's going to win a division. I mean,
are they going to win
Maybe.
Thursday? I really want to know that, because we don't have a Thursday show. I've been very curious to know, the people who saw this game yesterday, are they now confident that they're going to beat the football team of Washington?
I don't have delusions that this team's good, but they look their last three games they took the Steelers to the wire, who undefeated Steelers, by the way. They are starting to get confidence on the defensive side of the ball. I don't know what that is. I don't know if they're just like embracing the Mike Nolan stuff, or if they're just, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but a confident Cowboy team with Andy Dalton at the helm, and two running backs, Tony Pollard being the better of the two, I think, should beat the Redskins, or the team from Washington, excuse me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now that D-line is scary, and I don't like Andy Dalton trying to roll out of the pocket, but
that was going to be my thought. Is I don't see, even though they're getting healthier, I think the Cowboys are getting healthier across the board. Cheeto was back. You had LVE was back. He wasn't around 2 or 3 weeks ago, playing at the level he is now. Sean Lee being healthy and just on the sidelines is helpful to them.
Did he play yesterday at all?
I don't know how many snaps he got. He only had 3 the week before, but he's a presence, I think, from a coach on the field standpoint. But I will, since we're not picking the game, probably, I still think Washington wins this. And I just think that Ron Rivera's a good enough coach to eke it out. And I think Alex Smith, we were all completely wrong, and I'm still scared every time he's on the field. But he's a good enough quarterback to somehow get the ball to Terry McLaurin, who's a great tool, and to Antonio Gibson, who's also incredible. Another Memphis running back.
Yeah.
As is Tony Pollard.
Yeah, I mean, I really can't refute any of that.
Yeah.
That's a very likely scenario. And it's Thanksgiving, and, it's just like, it would be very Cowboys to go out there, run Kane Brown? Kane Brown out for halftime and just lay a turd and just get rolled by the team from Washington. Your career rival.
And speaking of Washington, they played Cincinnati. Burrow goes down. Brutal to see.
Confirmed ACL. That was the fear. I
have not seen that. I know that he's done for the year, so that's what it looks like.
He did tweet, "I'll see you guys next year. I'll be back next yeyear."
I like his attitude about it.
Yeah. I mean, what do you have to be upset about if you're him? You proved that you're competent and capable.
I don't want to say I kind of expect this to happen, but he was taking a beating this year.
Mm-hmm.
He was just getting thrown around, man. It was pretty tough to see.
Yeah, and a lot of people were saying that like a prediction made on the live stream last Thursday might have led to this. I don't know.
He picked the wrong former Ohio State Buckeye.
Right. Wrong kid died.
Yeah.
Justin Fields alive and well.
Yeah, as far as, I don't think we're responsible for it. There's no like TMD curse or anything, but
no.
The TMD tangential.
I was watching a lot of that Ohio State game, just like telling myself like, please don't get hurt, Justin Fields.
Let this happen.
Please don't get hurt. Don't take a hit.
We can't handle this. Other places elsewhere. That's the word. Elsewhere in the NFL. The Tennessee-Baltimore game was extremely fun to watch. I don't know how much of that y'all hung around for as the Cowboys are getting started, but it's going to be interesting watching the AFC playoffs, like almost more interesting than any matchup you could bring out of the NFC. Like I want to see almost all 7 of the teams in any order play in the AFC as it stands right now.
Why does it seem like Derrick Henry has like 7 walk-off overtime touchdowns? The dude is a monster in fourth quarter and overtime. It's ridiculous.
It looks painful to watch when he makes those runs at the end of the game because I don't know who it was, Casey Hayward. They showed right after the game was over. Like it just looks exhausting to play that team, and I guess that's what you want.
Imagine tackling that dude 30 times in a game.
I did get to throw up the X yesterday, as we all did.
Yeah.
In unison, stand in unison with Des Bryant. 1 catch?
One, I think he had a second one, but it was called back for a penalty. He could have had more than that. He didn't step out of bounds when he should have in one, and then he wasn't set, although the center snapped it early on another penalty that he was involved in. But Des looks competent and capable.
He's getting looks.
Yeah, and with a different quarterback, he probably would have had 4 or 5 receptions. It was weird hearing Tony call his game because Tony wanted Des to be successful, and you could hear it. He was like, you got to go to Des here. Des is open. Des is open. He's doing it.
I didn't get to see a lot of that game, but that I guess I'm just now putting the Romo angle out there. I guess they always had a good relationship, right?
Yeah, it was pretty much after he was gone and or leaving that it was Sean Lee and Witten that
Snake
didn't want him there, so is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I picked the Ravens going into the year as my my cool, sexy AFC Super Bowl pick, and now I'd like to walk that back, walk that one way back, because I don't think they even sniffed the AFC Championship game.
They certainly don't look as good as they were last year.
No,
They were pretty damn good last year.
yeah, they were.
I mean, you've got the game we watched last night: Chiefs, Raiders, Titans, Ravens. Indy is going to be in the mix. Somebody else out of the East, the Bills, is going to be in the mix. Like AFC is going to be Pittsburgh. It's going to be loaded.
I've underrated the Colts all season
because they lost to the Jags out the gate, and that kind of overshadowed their success.
If you're the Raiders and you lose last night, heartbreaking walk off, basically, you still feel pretty good about it.
Yes.
Because you've already beaten that team once. That team is, by every measure, the best team in the league. No disrespect to Pittsburgh, but you had them, and you had number 82 out there catching what looked like the go-ahead touchdown.
Jason Witten catching a touchdown pass and in the middle of the play basically taking steps backwards is quintessential Jason Witten. It was a great play by him, too. Like, he positioned his body, made sure he stayed in the end zone, secured the bag, and got pushed out of the end zone after the catch, which doesn't matter, but it's just funny to see. Happy for him. I'm glad he's getting some play. And I told David this last night, but I will say in a public forum that we may need to start pulling some money for some season tickets for the Vegas Raiders or the freaking Vegas Knights. I don't care. And I will sell 90% of those season tickets and go to one game a year because it looks like it'd be a blast to go to Vegas, go to that game, or
I didn't realize how close the stadium is to the Strip.
Yes.
Like, it's
I didn't
all
either.
just right there.
right on the other side of the highway.
That's cool.
That was like the first showcase of that stadium that I've really paid attention to.
Did you see that Mark Davis, even though
That's
the
hilarious,
state,
yeah.
or I guess, is allowing 5,000 people to go inside, he's like, no. He's like, not until everybody can come in. He's not even going inside the stadium.
He's like, if
staying
the
at
fans
home,
can't
too.
go, I'm not going.
Like, why not let 5,000 people in?
I kind of like that.
Why?
I don't know if I've thought it through because
I can't get over his haircut, but other than
yeah,
that,
I mean, there's a lot to not take serious about Mark Davis, that being the main one. But that I don't know. I kind of like that.
I don't know. I haven't looked too closely at what resell and how teams are handling prices from being gouged or whatnot. But like, if it's limited to 5,000, like, are then tickets just like you're getting a bunch of overly rich assholes in the games, and then
yeah,
it's like
maybe
I've got to
that has
spend
something
more
do
than
with
I'm
it.
making. I'm sure there's a business side to it, but I did hear them make that comment too.
Yeah.
Too bad we don't have Will here to kind of break down the Lions game from yesterday when they were shut out by the Panthers.
Again, the PJ Walker's his name, right? I love stories like that.
PJ Masks Walker, I believe. It's a cartoon joke for like 4.
He was from the XFL.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Temple Zone.
Talented guy. He made himself a lot of money. I think Garrett Gilbert secured the backup position for the Cowboys. Once Andy Dalton, if he continues to play well, he'll end up somewhere else.
He made a couple of throws that were like, this guy's not used to the speed of this kind of football.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, he looked pretty strong.
What is the plan in Carolina? So, did they think that they were going to be bad enough to go after a Fields or a Trevor Lawrence?
No.
Because they're not. They're very competent, and they've got Bridgewater. I don't know if he's on a 1-year deal.
I'll find that for you. But I believe they've got him on a 3-year deal.
Okay.
Oh no, they got him on a big boy deal. Yeah, 3 years, $63 million. So I knew part of it. I just didn't realize it was 21 a year. So
okay.
They think they're good for at least 2, and I'm sure the way it's weighted is they probably have an out after next year, unless he probably got like $30 million guaranteed. I don't have the Spotrac up. Oh, here it is. Spotrac for all your professional sport contract needs. Let's see. Yep, potential out after next year. Look at the big brain on me. $21 million a year. Essential guaranteed is basically 40 of it. So yeah. This year he's only getting paid, 24, then 18, then 21. So they can get out.
Okay. Because Matt Rule coming in, they obviously moved Cam out.
Mm-hmm. Which still seems like the right decision.
Yeah, I mean, they looked bad. They looked straight up bad in Houston yesterday, which isn't a huge shocker. But, yeah, I don't know. I was just curious about that. I didn't know if PJ had a chance of getting that job. Doesn't sound like he does if they've got money tied up with Bridgewater.
Yeah, probably next year, I would assume.
Okay. Didn't realize 3 games on Thanksgiving. We got, as we mentioned before, the team from Washington and Dallas. Houston at Detroit, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Lions always played Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but Ravens at Steelers, that's the one that I forgot about.
I think only in the last 2 years they've been throwing in a nighttime game because you have NBC, ESPN, or NBC Fox, and then ESPN will get a game, or CBS, one of the 3. Or 3 of the 4, I should say.
The games get progressively better. Houston to Detroit, that's a turd. Washington and Dallas won't be a good game, but at least they're playing for something. And then Ravens at Steelers, that's a game that, before the season you thought was going to be.
For no reason at all? You want to pick your winners there?
Yeah. All right. I haven't even looked at the lines. Have you?
Nope. Just pick them straight up.
All right. I'll go Houston, Dallas. Give me Baltimore with the upset.
Okay. I will take Houston, Washington, and Pittsburgh.
Houston, Dallas, Pittsburgh.
That's smart.
Let's go.
That's smart.
It's easy picking the undefeated team. I know that, but they're better than the Ravens.
That is very true, and that concludes. We got anything else on the NFL?
No.
We're good. Before we jump into college, can we talk about our good friends at Movement?
I thought you'd never ask, Dave.
We all know that 2020 isn't playing by any of the usual rules, and that goes for holiday shopping too. Between shipping delays and the mess and stress of in-store shopping experiences, these aren't great options, but our friends over at Movement Watches have made gift-giving easy. Movement makes clean and modern watches, blue light glasses, and accessories. You get great quality and style, and you don't have to break the bank. Their Black Friday sale is live right now. We were actually checking it out before this podcast. So you can get ahead of your holiday shopping with their biggest sale of all time.
Their watches, well, I have glasses and watches. The watches are bold, they're masculine, they're simple, got the big faces on them. They're very, very solid. All right? The glasses, they look like normal glasses because it has the clear lens. A lot of these blue light blocker ones have like a yellow tint to them, something weird like that. Not these.
No.
They look like regular glasses, and they're awesome.
When I'm doing some long-form reading at home, as I often do, I throw on the blue light glasses. Yeah. Sometimes I just wear them around because I look dope in them.
If you stare at a screen all day like most of us do, you need them.
Yep.
You need them. Protect those eyes, player.
They've got the super sleek matte black packaging. Just add a bow, and you're good to go. Their products are one size fits all, and their gift guides help you find the gift that fits their style. Their shipping is fast, and they offer free returns all the way into next year. Not that you'll even need it, but it's good to know that that's there. So check this out. Their biggest sale of the year with fast, free shipping and free returns. Go to movement.com/bang. That's MVMT.com/bang. And check out the biggest sale of the year. Again, MVMT.com/bang. Check it out. Join the movement. All right.
College football time.
College football. Where do we even begin? Do we want to just start with Cincinnati staying undefeated? I don't see Cincinnati in anybody's like playoff picture, unless they're like super woke. But I would like Cincinnati to be in the mix. I've watched them like a little bit too much this year, mainly for SMU purposes and then just gambling in general. Dude, they're fun, man. They're athletic as hell.
Mm-hmm. They're a really talented team. Have you noticed when you watch them that they almost as much show as like NBC or people will give Eric Bieniemy from the Chiefs? Like they give their defense coordinator a lot of camera time, which their defense is why they're doing as well that they are. Desmond Ridder is great, but it's their cornerbacks and their defense. But it's always interesting when you see a team like that and you're like, clearly that guy's getting teed up to be hired. And as he should be. He's a younger guy. I'm interested to keep an eye out to see where he lands. But I would probably say everyone's dream in the Power 5 conferences is that you get like a BYU-Cincinnati matchup. But if I'm Cincinnati, I'm like, I deserve to be playing Miami or whomever's like just outside of the playoff so that we could show our value here.
Yeah, in BYU, they'll play any team anywhere. They've made that very clear. Do we know what the story with that is?
I know that they are in discussion to round up what you're talking about there. They're in discussions with Washington, correct?
Yeah.
To schedule a game last minute because BYU doesn't have any games on their schedule that are of any value. They played Northern Alabama yesterday. Because they're an independent, they didn't have a conference tie-in. They didn't do what Notre Dame did, rightfully so, because their conference tie-in theoretically would have either been Pac-12 or maybe the Mountain West, and both of them opted out initially. The Big 12 originally had the opportunity to add them, and they said, yeah, we're not going to do that. And it probably makes sense because BYU might be atop the Big 12 had they done that. So BYU's looking for opportunities to strengthen their schedule. What they're not willing to do is add Washington last minute and basically pay to play Washington when typically if that game was set up any other way, Washington would be paying BYU or home.
Yeah, so BYU's getting roasted right now in the court of public opinion, and this reminds me a lot of like modern day boxing. And when you have like two champions, it's not unified, and you have like say Errol Spence and Bud Crawford, and they're like, oh well, Spence won't take the fight. And in reality, he probably wants to take the fight. It's just his management is the one that won't let him do it or whatever, whoever's calling the shots. And I wonder how much of this is like administration stuff. I don't know. I saw Micah was texting us about it, and he said, like, did Clemson leak this or something? Because, of course, like Clemson with their one loss, who would be the team that, falls out of the top four for like a BYU, for example. So I don't know. I'm normally not this dialed on BYU, but I don't know. They've actually been kind of fun to watch. Northwestern 17-7 over Wisconsin. What's the Reese Davis controversy? I just saw like the post game stuff, and I don't know what went down here.
Excuse me. Joey Galloway said that Northwestern had a team full of Reese Davises, which I think just meant like unathletic guys.
Joey Galloway, noted Ohio State alum, I should also point out too.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
And so, of course, they use that as like,
rallying cry or whatever bulletin
board
board
material.
material.
So after the game, Pat Fitzgerald, is that the coach's name?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yeah, Mia, the fighting Reese Davis is over here, put together a good game, huh? Something like that, just taking a shot at Joey Galloway. But
he was very salty about it.
Pretty funny. Yeah, of course.
Which, if you're
insulting.
If you're Northwestern, it's like they're in the same position as like a TCU or an SMU would be basically because of their location in Chicago. Like obviously Chicago's not the football powerhouse or, with the notoriety of like a DFW. It's on a national scale, but like you've got everything at your fingertips. And Northwestern doesn't try to go out and be anything that they're not. They fight with like Notre Dame for ownership of like Chicago's football team rights. So whenever you're dealing with like Ohio State people coming at your neck, like you got to push back. It looks like that's who would beat in the Big Ten title game as of now. I think Ohio State has to play whoever their next game is, like their next competitive hurdle for that though.
God, is Wilbon just fully torqued right now?
Mike Wilbon, yeah, he's a big Northwestern guy.
Ohio State beats Indiana, takes a commanding lead in the Big Ten.
Indiana
East.
fought tough though, man. They made that a game.
I switched it on when I saw it get to touchdown. This was
Yeah,
good.
they I guess they were ranked 9th, but people the
like
spread,
20.5?
The spread was crazy
Yep.
though. Yeah, and
One person in this room still picked IU to cover, and they did. So it worked.
Did I?
I did.
Oh, God damn it.
Their quarterback is exciting, and I think he's a freshman. So
It says here on the rundown Purdue gets robbed, but I think they got that one right.
so I missed all of this,
dude, it was a terrible call. Terrible.
Did you watch it? Did you watch it?
I did.
About?
I
Okay.
watched it live.
So I was gonna say if Randy wants to step up and explain it to us.
Yeah, we got a mic,
Legitimately-
Randy. It's on.
Legitimately a terrible call.
So walk me through what happened, because I saw nothing but Randy's complaints.
I don't
in
know the
group text.
exact context of like what point the game had happened. I know it was late fourth quarter.
Like
and
end
it
of the game,
It would have
right?
been
45 seconds left.
45
seconds left. It was for the go-ahead touchdown, and they throw a pass, corner of the end zone. Tight end, I think, gets some separation, catches it, and they flag him for offensive pass interference. He didn't come close to committing a penalty. Like, not even close. I'm not. I mean, it wasn't even close. They flagged it, and they lost the game because of it.
So bad, in
I
fact,
forgot how the rest of it played out, but
FanDuel has refunded.
yeah.
If you made a bet for Purdue, they have refunded your money.
Yeah, which I think is a very cool.
What did we say it was? Like
Very cool thing for
$800,000 worth?
Yeah.
800,000. That's crazy.
That's, you know what?
Big of them.
We're FanDuel guys here. I will continue to give them my money.
I would be so pissed off if I was a Purdue guy. I mean, a blatant missed call costing your team the game.
Yeah.
Very, very blatant.
Randy wasn't real happy
It's
about
about
it.
as bad as it gets. Honestly.
I felt for him.
I guess I'm shocked, really, of the uproar. Like, obviously, let me watch how I say this. It matters. But, I mean, come on, guys.
I mean, they're making a little noise.
Purdue.
I know.
Yeah, but you know,
I'm kidding. It sucks.
Don't care.
I guess I missed it.
oh, you beat the shit out of Oklahoma State. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much of a bedlam. Gundy now 2-13 against OU. He's.
Could say he's getting owned.
I mean, I get like he does bits and he's got the mullet, and I think they really like him in Stillwater. At least some people do. It's just like, at some point you move on, right?
No,
He
it
always
won't happen
has-
until he leaves.
He always has a decent team, though. Always. I mean, they're
Never good enough to win the Big 12. That's the
right,
thing.
right. But you know,
I will say, most fun college football game I've ever been to was Bedlam in Stillwater in like 2009 or 10. And it was a night
they
game.
get the paddles out on the front row.
And Oklahoma State pretty much ran OU off the field, I believe, and it was insane.
They have a very sunken field at that stadium.
Dude, it affects the game.
Yeah,
like
I
it's
bet, I
very
bet.
loud in there.
I bet.
That and the sidelines are very shallow. Colorado's are the most ridiculous, but Oklahoma State's right there with
Yeah,
it.
it's
like
one-
a 6-foot depth from the wall of where the students are to the sideline.
You're always waiting for like a Paul George catastrophic injury, and I can't believe that it hasn't happened yet.
I'm more waiting for like a Marcus Smart fan interaction. While we're sticking on Oklahoma State.
You guys want to talk Dabo?
Meh.
I don't know exactly what happened here. I know
Okay.
So Florida State called off the game for
Medical personnel, I guess.
The way it was said that medical personnel from the schools could not agree to play the game. So there was an issue that occurred. One team basically was okay with it. The other team was not. Dabo bitching about
And
it.
this is
sounds-
COVID related.
Yes.
Dabo says it wasn't COVID, but Florida State was using COVID as an excuse, which I say, like, this was canceled 3 hours before the game. there's nothing that could occur like, oh, we saw on film, they're really going to whoop our ass. We just don't want to play today, coach. Like, that doesn't happen. Mike Norvell's, like, not doing great so far. Like, he wants to play every game he can to showcase his team. Like, if the medical professionals said, hey, don't play, or we're not prepared, we're not okay to play, then fall in line. Like, bitching about it and blaming the other school, like saying it's COVID's the excuse here is kind of weak.
Aren't you losing money by canceling a game? Like these schools have got to be losing some money.
On both sides. Or, Florida State's losing something by canceling a game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just didn't like that he was out and about, like, saying, hey, this is what it was.
Pick a better spot.
He's just kind of an ass.
He is. Hell of a football coach, but an ass.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got game day at Alabama, Auburn, Bama. Iron Bowl. Per usual, doesn't look like it should be a game on paper, but you never know, as they've proven.
Hey, throw
the records out.
Right out the window.
Take the records, wipe your ass, and throw it out.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to do that.
How many years ago was that return at the end of the game?
Kick six.
2010?
11. I want to say 10 or 11. Yeah.
All-time finish.
Yeah.
I still remember just the, like, immediate, like, what the fuck? Oh, my gosh. Holy shit. Like, the roller coaster of emotions. Now I'm not, like, throwing stuff at the TVs like you see people doing.
I remember the call really well.
Yeah.
Auburn's got to win the football game.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've had any of those moments, like, and get to catch it live, much less in person. But I can only imagine, like, what if you're a college student at that game and you're from Alabama, like, who's blacking out hard, not to glorify that, but, like, who ruined their life more that night?
Yeah.
Aside from the guy who poisoned the trees.
Into a football game.
Yeah. Shout out to him.
Can't remember his name.
Oh yeah, and we can't now talk about the Cats. Cats defeat Arkansas State 47-15.
Let's go.
Dude, Brady McBride is such a wild ass. So fun to watch. Texas State's played like 11 or 12 games. They've been on ESPN, or at least in some variation, for I feel like half of them. No, Texas State has never gotten this much play. And I have to say, yes, they are a 2-win team. But
they lose in heartbreaking fashion when they do lose.
The only game they have not been competitive in, okay, BYU whipped their ass, okay. But in App State, they put it on them pretty good. But they've been competitive in almost every other game. And they got Coastal coming up Saturday.
That's a big opportunity.
Just saying.
You could be the one that ruins the dance, and everybody will see it.
Just saying. Brady McBride, though. Coppell's own. Coppell Cowboy. Watch T-State. They'll be on TV because they always are, I guess. But check them out this weekend.
Talk hoops?
Talk a little hoops. Do some quick dips. Get out of here.
Yeah.
How closely you been following free agency?
Well, if it tells you anything, Marcus saw to the Lakers. I didn't know he was still in the league. So I don't know what that tells you.
Confusing him with his brother,
No,
Powell?
I'm not. No, I'm not.
I mean, he won a title with Toronto 2 years ago.
He's very serviceable.
But he's at the tail end, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a perfect signing. He's going to the perfect place. I mean, you look at they just did with Dwight Howard. Like, this is a good place for him to finish out his career and probably get another ring. I don't know. You got to say
about it.
Yeah, you know. Now, countering that, you got Serge Ibaka going to the Clippers.
Clip show.
I had some hopes of him ending up in Dallas. Didn't work out, but that's okay.
Yeah. It's Serge, I mean, similar to Gasol, I think that he's also at that point in his career where he's got to contribute on a very small level. It's going to be interesting to see how he meshes with that team. He was noted last year saying, like, I'm not typically the guy that is a big team guy or a big team culture guy, I guess, which I would have never thought. But then he was voted like team captain, and everybody in Toronto really embraced him. I have no idea. I can't remember who, if anyone, the Clippers. Who's coaching the Clippers? I don't remember that hire.
I don't know what they did after Doc.
Yeah, so that room is going to be interesting if he's not bringing a positive.
Tyronn Lue.
Oh, Ty Lue got that job. That's
Ty
right.
Lue.
So yeah, I mean he's dealt with terrible attitudes. So watch out for the Clippers. Steve Ballmer is going to have a lot to raise his blood pressure.
Clippers lose Montrezl Harrell to the Lakers, and that got NBA Twitter going. Mm-hmm. That was fun to follow. Montrezl Harrell, obviously a big part of the Clippers team last year. Also, I believe he called Luka a bitch-ass white boy at one point.
Accurate.
He did. He sure did.
He's on the Lakers now, so I guess he doesn't have to move, but I don't think anybody expected it. You saw, like, Pat Beverly on Twitter, like, what the fuck? All those guys. I don't blame him, man. Like, it doesn't seem like that's a very fun place to play.
What?
Playing with Kawhi and Paul George.
Oh,
like,
in L.A., but with the Clippers,
Yeah.
I think that the headline for me between these two teams is that both Markieff and Marcus are still going to be in L.A. together.
Yes.
And apparently Markieff had an offer at that was like $20 million more to go across the hall to the Clippers and play on the same team as his brother Marcus Morris. And I was like, yeah, I'll stay here for way less and play with LeBron.
That would have been
Really?
insufferable.
Which I can't stand
That's
either of them. I've talked
crazy.
shit about the Morris brothers for a while. Whatever. Tatum and Mitchell both signed $200 million potentially super max deals, which that's the way it go when you're an all-star from draft to contract year.
Yeah.
That's what Luka's contract's going to look like.
Oh, God. I'm like counting down the days. I need to get that done. I know it's like they can't do it now, but I fear anytime like free agency is going on, I just fear like the worst with Luka, like him bailing to go play with.
We'll be fine. I think them getting KP for the long run, them getting Luka, they've rebuilt a team to basically protect Luka. The worst thing that can happen is that like Carlisle gets sick of it and retires. Like that's where the risk would come in.
Mavs do get what some would call an enforcer. Signing what, James Johnson?
I believe so.
James Johnson, second degree black belt. Everybody's already seen this. They're basically, it's NBA Twitter and plus the media is like willing a confrontation with one of the Morris brothers and this dude, or like anybody who wants it with Luka, because obviously Luka kind of got punked a little bit in that Clippers series last year. And this is a move that they had to do, add some toughness. This dude's – I didn't know much about James Johnson.
I'd never seen him. I was like, I saw that he came from the Heat, and the only thing I could think of with neck tattoos coming from the Heat was the Birdman. So I knew very little.
Yeah.
I was very ill-informed. But they got Willie Cauley-Stein, too. They got two necktie guys.
Didn't Birdman play like Tyler Jr. Call? Where did he play his college ball?
Birdman.
I'm not
Dude,
sure.
Birdman was like Blinn or something.
It's somewhere
He
sketch.
was one of those, or like Navarro.
And in the offseason, we will also go back and tell the story of how the Birdman got catfished into being he wasn't actually a child predator, but getting lumped in with the child predator story.
Oh, boy.
I
Remember when they went and
recall
seized his
a
like
little
computers
something
and
about
stuff?
that.
Yeah, it was bad. Let's wrap it up. Let's do dip picks.
Let's do some quick. Are we doing dip picks?
I'm
or
sorry,
dips?
quick dips.
Some QD.
What the fuck are we doing here?
Dude, I don't know how we didn't lead off with this. The Undertaker, Austin's own, retired last night, 30 years after his first match at Survivor Series. And I don't know if you saw this, is now doing $1,000 cameos, of course, on Cameo.
$1,000?
$1,000
Is that the
for the
going
Taker.
rate for like what? There's no way.
For The Undertaker, yes.
No.
Why?
$1,000 for a 30-second clip of him saying "What's up"?
He'll
Who's buying this?
Apparently, a lot of people on
If
Twitter.
he's charging $1,000, how much could like DiCaprio charge? Like $100,000? I mean, it's the Undertaker.
Well,
He's
just
like
for
60.
research's sake, also native Texan or local Texan, Alexis, Texas is charging $100. So just for scalability, I just wanted to figure that out.
Who's had more eyeballs over their career, Alexis Texas or The Undertaker?
Oh, I don't think it's even close, really.
I don't know.
She probably has 100x the eyeballs.
He's
What's her-
grappling dudes on a reg too, though.
What's her comm score?
Hard to say. But
People
Very
forget she
high.
was in my bowling class.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
And for the idiot in the world like me, Cameo is usually what, a minute to 2 minutes?
Not even, man. Usually it's like a little 30-second,
30
like, hey,
second.
what's up? Happy birthday from your boys at blah, blah, blah. Click.
I mean, if you were able to do like, hey, it's going to be a minute and a half long, or he's got to do something specifically custom to you.
I want him to take a chair over the head or something, you know?
Like he sets up a little fake match and you get a little 30-second rendition. It's all for you. Like, all right, good.
If you go on Twitter and just type in Undertaker cameo, like there's some threads, and it's like him like doing like anniversary messages, like talking about like Mark, Thank you for being such a great husband.
See?
He's in his Undertaker gear. It's fantastic. You got to think he's retiring to like a pretty good sized mansion out in Death Valley. 55 years old. You know he goes to our chiropractor.
I do know that.
I said that weird. I don't know why I said chiropractor, but he does go there. He's got pictures on the wall. You're getting your back crack blown out.
He drives a Bentley.
He does drive a Bentley.
He used to park it outside our office all the time.
Net worth?
Ooh, $64 million.
I don't think this is accurate, but go ahead.
I'm gonna say $22 million.
20 mil.
Okay.
2.5
Dave's
annual.
weirdly good at this game.
I feel like it should be more, but I don't know how much of like the licensing just goes to like that's all Vince McMahon money. Like he's not getting Undertaker licensing.
Yeah.
I didn't think $20 million was Bentley money. You know, that's a statement car. It's a $300,000 car. I know you can afford it, but
It could have been like a part of like a signing bonus or something.
A deal with Bentley of Westlake. Who knows?
There is a Bentley dealership in Westlake, isn't there? There's got to be one in Austin.
B Cave Bentley.
I'm not sure.
B Cave Bentley. Guys, I think
That was
we're
fun.
done.
Fun one.
It was a long one. We did a lot.
We did a lot. I think we navigated it well. No technical difficulties. Shout out to Randy for helping us with that.
Multiple
He throws
states.
up
We
the
went
deuce.
across the pond. International. It's a worldwide episode. This is
from New
enough to
York.
hold you over for the entire holiday week.
Yeah, we'll see you back next Monday, right?
Monday.
No Thursday, Epi. No
Hey.
Thursday live stream, I should say.
Oh, and a couple things. If you want to see KJ's fatty, go to Meat Smokers Only. I know you did.
We didn't plug Meat Smokers Only, but you did post it there. Yes.
I posted it on Meat Smokers
Yep.
Only. Check that out on Instagram. Remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. It's Too Much Dip with 2 P's on Twitter. Too Much Dip Podcast on Instagram. Starting to get some activity. Things are looking up. Maybe we can get KJ to go live from the ninth tee box or something.
Oh, we might do some live swing academy.
Oh, let's do it. Can you get me on Thorntree?
Yeah. Just
we go
literally
play?
walk out my backyard and just nobody will yell at you.
Do you ever have friends over and just like at night you just go hit balls?
I use a putting green. Damn. The eighth green is my personal putting green. So.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't name a number there.
Must be nice.
He just doxed
Doxed
himself.
myself. All right.
See y'all.
folks. Bye.
Bye.
I want my chips with the dip, that's all I know. I don't want my chips plain, I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.